Mute your microphone.
No, I'm not going to this time because I'm going to do a John Denver playlist. But
Well,
last time I played music, it was doing that weird thing again where it was picking up my voice, but not the music. So, and that's just the weirdest thing ever because they both come through the same mic.
yeah.
So, do this. Go visit my channel. Let's this is You don't hear the music?
I hear you.
Yeah, that makes no sense now, does it? It's doing that. Why? That makes no sense now. How the fuck is it not? Would it be StreamYard or
Your mic is something is not. What mic are you going through? Your camera
I
mic?
think this right here?
You're getting some kind of weird ass feedback.
Maybe there's dust or paint. Let me see. You found it! Yay! Why is it still doing that? I'm not even playing music.
That's some kind of feedback.
I don't understand. It works when I use OBS.
That's some kind of feedback. Um, in your mic, how high up do you have your sensitivity or whatever on your mic?
This mic, the microphone. Brandon, why am I getting feedback from the sound?
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, why am I getting feedback? Let me try. I'll turn
Is
my.
Dad playing through his speakers and you're double hearing it? Dad, you're probably hearing Dad's speakers through your mic.
Oh.
You can't have Dad playing
Yeah,
the
turn
sound
your
of your
speakers
screen.
off, Jesse. I'll play it on my computer and see if
And you play
I
through
can hear it.
headphones.
I'll plug my headphone
Yeah,
in,
play through headphones.
Okay.
and you can turn your music back on. I'll see if I hear it.
Mic check.
Turn your music back on, I said.
Oh.
Why is there no music?
I just paused it again because it's not playing at all.
What do you mean it's not?
Yeah. You can't hear the music? Yeah. It's impossible, Brandon, for this microphone to pick up my voice and not the music.
No, you can't play that music on
John Denver is copyright free.
Huh?
John Denver is
it.
copyright.
Yeah, it's music
Oh,
on
Streamyard's
top.
not gonna let me.
No, you can. I'm saying to myself, Harold, you can't play it through your laptop. through your
But I
mic.
used to be able to, it just sometimes doesn't. Not pick up the music.
I'm listening to it.
No, you can hear me.
You can talk.
Yeah.
I'm not doing no everything. That's right.
Well, how do I fix it?
You have to play it through the screen, not through your mic.
I am.
No, you have to play the song through your screen. You can make a screen play file. You don't learn how to do that through the screen setting. You play music on your screen itself.
You can play it through the computer. And
So like share screen, but then I have to bring it up there and it's gonna make my window small and make the share screen big.
I don't know.
And I
But,
think I can only share one screen,
yeah, you can only share one
but
screen.
then I'll lose that.
How?
I used to be able to do it though. It only does this sometimes. That's the weird part.
Yeah, it's super weird. I
It's
don't know.
gotta be with StreamYard. It's gotta be.
Something with Streamlabs, I'm sure, yeah. Anyways, I'm getting out here.
Okay.
The only part I'm mad about the whole car situation is that scramble to get the brake fixed and go title with my name and do all that dumb shit, change the speedy title. Or
Well,
what?
that's good that you got
I mean,
the title
it's
and
better to
stuff,
my name
but
now, yeah, but still.
the other bad part is if you'd have went out and changed your fuses earlier, like
Would've
I
been good to
told
go,
you,
yeah.
he'd have took it.
Well, I'm sure. I'm not too hurt about it. I'm glad, I'm kind of happy about it, honestly.
Mm.
Now that I just drove it down
I'm
Lincoln for
sure
1
you
minute,
are.
I instantly thought, you know, fuck it, I'm just
You
gonna
can
pay you
get-
guys cash out of my stash and keep it. 'Cause I really don't
Oh,
want to sell the
keep
car.
it?
Maybe not.
Why not? I
Well,
love it,
you've
dude.
got that choice if that's what
Right,
you want
I'm
to do.
considering. I love
But
that
you could
car.
have done that all along.
Yeah, I know.
The only reason there was agreement to sell the car is because
Pay you
you,
back.
yeah, you insisted.
This is a badass car, and the season's coming, dude. It's warm out.
Well,
got
no, I
me
get
moved.
it, but
But knowing my luck, I'll go out racing and end up getting pulled over, fucking break it, and get stranded somewhere. I don't have a trailer. Yeah, I gotta sell it. Fuck, dude. I'm gonna try to get Julian. I'm trying to get that belt fixed, which I don't even know what to do. Should I just try to get that one back on it? But remember how hard it was?
that belt's
Fine.
good. I mean,
But remember how hard it was for us to get it on?
well, because okay, so when we pulled down on that tensioner, I'm
Uh-huh.
trying to think.
We just couldn't figure out how it all went on the way it went. Remember?
When we pulled down on the tensioner, though, can you even pull the other way on the tensioner?
When I did, it loosened the bolt. So I don't know. It looks like it would. I don't know. It should. That's the way it should go. I don't know. I'm thinking about taking it to the shop where Julian's car's at because he's got a top G guy over there that does all the cars. He's got 8 lifts and da-da-da. Tempted to just have it towed over there and just like, look, get this
Well,
figured
I'm
out.
trying to think. So that belt wasn't the belt that was on the
No,
car.
we had to get a different belt
You
because that
bought
one wouldn't
the belt.
fit. Because when we tried to put the new alternator on, which was exactly the same alternator, just new one, he didn't remember how it went on right. And it just didn't make sense. Remember?
So your belt, the belt that we replaced,
It was smaller.
was your belt smaller or bigger than this
I
one?
think smaller. It wouldn't reach before, I believe. So we had to get a different one. Because when he took off, he came over to swap the alternator because I was having those issues.
Right.
And when he took it off and went to put it back on, he couldn't figure out which way it went back on.
Right,
And I know
right.
it's probably still not on
I
there.
remember that.
Yeah.
Which don't make any sense because it was on the car. And obviously, when they put it on, they had to move that tensioner to get the belt on.
Mhm.
And then you let the tensioner go and it tightens it back up where
Mm-hmm.
it needs to be. So by you putting a smaller belt on,
Can't go as far. Yeah.
well, that's not going to affect the way the tensioner moves,
Yeah. I
but
don't
you
know.
shouldn't be able to even put a smaller belt on there.
Right.
Because then there's too much tension,
Mhm.
probably,
Mhm.
which is probably why it slid off.
Mhm.
You still got the original belt
Probably not.
in the car, in the
I
back.
don't think so. Why'd we even replace the belt? Well, oh, we couldn't get it back on. I think was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Now, what you call bad luck might actually be good luck.
Might
Think
still
about
come
it. Think about your bad luck that turned into good luck.
Good luck.
You now have the car. It's worth more just like that.
It's not worth more.
You saved money on repairs.
How's it worth more?
You could sell it for 20 in the spring now.
Hopefully, yeah.
So that's a good plus, and everything's fixed. That's a
The problem
plus.
is if I really
How are
want to
you
sell for
not
money,
seeing
if I
that?
really want to sell for money, I have to make a pass. I need to make a pass. I need to get some prep from Jillian. I need to get the draggy timer, and I need to go make one pass. If I make one pass, I can sell it for way more. That's all I have to do. One pass. Because if you have times, that's what everyone asks me. What's it run? What times? What times? What times? What times? They all want to know. That's a car like that. That's what it's made for. So that's what.
So yeah, I would say you need a smaller belt
Possibly.
because whatever belt was on there was what was supposed to be on there apparently when you got it.
But see how tight that one was? I feel like we need bigger. I feel like that one was too tight, wasn't it?
Because it's going to stretch as it warms up. So, yeah, when it's spinning, dude, there's friction and it warms up, so the belt will expand a little.
I think I need to take it to that garage and have it fix it because I don't have a clue what to do.
I need to look in the back and see if you have the
It's
original
just in
belt.
there. It's not in there. I just went through all parts
Not
of
on the floor or any of that. I don't
No one probably took it.
Huh?
No one probably took it with it. Like it. It was still a good belt.
But you should ask him
Yeah, if he still got it.
because that's probably the size belt you need on there.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think I'm probably just gonna get over to that shop and say, fuck it, just spend the money and get it done. Because if I get that done, car's good to go. It needs nothing else.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, like I said, when that guy came over to work on it and fucked with it, dude, the belt that was on there was
It
on
was
there.
fine. It worked good. Yeah. It's all
So
there.
it should have went back on.
Yeah. Right. 100%.
And the fact that he couldn't get it on there and had to buy a different belt is fucked up.
Yeah, but we could figure out which way that thing went on.
But that's the only way it bolted on, if I remember right.
Makes no sense.
So,
I don't know. I'll probably talk to the shop. I don't know. But thank you, though.
yeah,
Well, how can you not see that that's not good luck?
so my question is, why would he go, well, I could just pay you out of my stash? Well, then
Because he wants to keep it.
why didn't you do that to begin with? I mean,
He didn't want to touch his stash. I understand that.
well, I mean, you know, you can't borrow money and then him
I
all
know.
around.
Yeah.
And, you know, it is what it is.
Now we just have to worry that he's going to keep it and fuck it up.
Well, no, he needs to make his mind up. If he's
Keeping it or selling it.
keeping it, then he needs to, you know, pay us back. That's all. And not, you know, play games. No, I don't want him keeping it and going and trying to raise
Did
it.
you hear he forgave?
Yeah, that's.
I caught that.
Oh boy. And we got the news again. Study finds one habit can significantly lower your odds of getting sick. Exercise. With COVID hospitalization up across the nation, you might be wondering how you can continue to stay protected. Go get some exercise. COVID is on the rise again. What the news is having to say.
Oh, bullshit.
Right.
Jesus. Let COVID die. Literally. Don't fuck with the natural processes. Now, is it playing this background music that I'm playing that comes with StreamYard?
On your screen.
I need to check it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't play John Denver. I don't understand that.
Well, this I'm assuming is background music from within the StreamYard.
Yeah.
So. Let's try something.
You fill up my senses like a night in June.
Are you experimenting?
I could hear that in this thing.
Huh. Okay, that makes 0 sense.
Yeah, I heard that loud and clear.
That makes 0 sense.
In your stream.
And like I said, sometimes it works.
Nobody there. Let's go.
Oh, this music is annoying. Stop this music. And play my music so at least I can hear it, and hopefully it'll kick in. Huh.
Mouse clicking.
I don't understand. It makes no fucking sense. And it does it only sometimes it works great. And it works with OBS. I mean, how does it differentiate the sound? I could play a talking video and it'll still pick up me talking, but not my computer talking. It's impossible.
Your gain on your mic sounds like it may be high.
Why am I too loud?
Well, I'm talking.
I don't want to start. Oh, I'm not even using the boom mic.
I'm talking.
Oh,
fairly
this
quiet
mic.
and, like, you have massive.
It's strong, which I don't understand why it's not picking up the music. Explain that. Nobody can explain that.
Well, clicking your settings.
What? Up here?
Yeah.
Damn it. Audio. Oh, it's using one for the mic and one for the speaker. Maybe that's why.
What?
It's using one for the mic and one. Okay, this is the speakers. And this is the mic. Should I switch that? But it's showing.
Microphone.
It's lighting up.
Microphone, full screen. What is that? Is that
Look, it wasn't lighting up with the music. Be quiet a minute. Watch. Not lighting up at all. So that's the problem. We switch it from default mic to the Realtek. Just want to put that up. These are all the same. Yeah, it even picked up my click. Okay. So that's my speakers. It's that thing. A new one.
unclick your echo cancellation?
Oh, I had to do that before. It's picking it up. Now let me check it in YouTube.
Now I can hear it.
I've had to do that before when this happened.
Now I can hear it.
It must click itself. Well, you fixed me. Thank you.
Now
Remember
can
that.
turn it down a little bit because it's a little loud.
Remember that for next time.
By the way.
I don't want to. I need the music to paint.
Okay, now I can hear it in the stream.
Thank you. You consider the music as an echo.
Echo, echo, echo.
About the times I won't have to say, oh, kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. Good night, my friends. God bless you all. As a storm across the valley, clouds are rolling in. The afternoon is heavy on your shoulders. There's a truck out on the 4 lane, a mile or more away. The whining of his wheels just makes it colder. He's an hour away from writing all your prayers up in the sky. In days on the road are barely gone. back on lost friend. Yes, it pays good to be back home again. There's all the news to tell him. How do you spend your time? What's the latest thing the neighbors say? And your mother called last Friday, the sunshine made her cry. You felt the baby move just yesterday. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Yes, dear. Sometimes they're so far, feels like a long lost friend. Yes, hey, it's good to be back home again. Oh, time that I can't lay this tired old body down. Feel your fingers press soft upon me. It says that I've been born enough to last my way. The happiness living with you brings me. It's the sweetest thing I know of. Just spending time with you. It's the little things that make a house a home. Yeah. Like a fire softly burning and supper on the stove. The light in your eyes that keeps me warm. You folks sing it.
She's not a Christian. She's a fucking witch. She's a catfishing witch.
Oh my.
And she
Is that new?
deliberately
That's when she first started
has
coming out.
exposed him at this time to those filthy criminals who now have a live stream up, attacking, claiming it's just something to raise money. In Marsha Stockton's eyes, it is for her. Thomas Schomburger is devastated. A lot of people do care about the man.
CBS?
She's psycho.
Because we do know that he was set up
Hello. Please leave a message
by
after
Jesse
the
Davis's
tone.
friends.
Yes. Calling to inform
I
you
didn't
that you
even have
have
anything to
four
do with going after that
prescriptions
filth,
available for
Savannah,
pickup
and that
at
filthy,
Four.
those
North
filthy
Main Street.
people in
Press
Indiana.
1 to hear the full drug name.
So I saw them
Press
putting
2
up
to hear
porn
pharmacy hours.
videos,
Porn video.
sticking my face and Schomburger's
Press 4
face
to
in it.
receive future notifications
So how
through
does it
text
have to be?
message. Hello, Jesse. This is CVS Pharmacy. Calling to inform you that you have four.
Jesse,
And
you
that's when
have
I
4
looked and I
prescriptions
saw
available.
the testimony in which one of the other catfishing females identified herself as a catfish, admitted into her own testimony that because she thought Schomburger was gay, she made up a fake profile as a gay man.
She thought the Schoenberger
That
was
man
gay.
has been used as a patsy.
Who thought he
put out
was
front.
gay?
His Asperger's has been exploited. He's fallen for every female whore. And I don't give a damn how high class you think you are.
When
Play the
she
cello in front of a
says
room
it,
full of your goddamn high
It sounds
class
like
tuxedo
ass
buddies.
burgers.
You're a whore. You're a filthy whore.
Ooh.
He did not want what's going on made public. The man wants to be allowed to recover, if possible, in peace. But you couldn't allow it. I I just listened to those ghouls, the ones who go after, don't want my daughter, who never did anything to any of them, to have a memorial, who use their political friends to attack everybody, and they use you. You went at Schoenberger as a music arranger because they found somebody with a cello, and they knew the guy. Yes, he's got this ideal romantic idea. He's gonna talk to a woman. He talks to guys too. That's why the first catfisher thought he was gay. But he has Asperger's, and you exploited it.
Got
Exploited it,
Asperger's.
and now you're gonna try. I mean, you already wrecked Requiem. You wrecked it. You made a disgusting display. I have private conversations that I don't send to people. You took private conversation in which I said I would destroy you because I was so angry when I saw what you were doing. And Schoenberger wanted to make you apologize. I've got the conversation with him, but he asked me to consider that maybe you didn't realize what you were doing. And I gave you the benefit of that doubt. And I said so in a video saying, because the thing is, I took down the video in which I exposed you for sabotaging, for going in to work as an arranger for a composer and then sabotaging the production with your irresponsible tweets, totally playing Jesse Davis's game. And then you and Ewan Ritchie together, putting private conversations out on Twitter, proving that you're nothing but a couple of professional trolls. Yes, Thomas Schoenberger is very ill. Are you proud of yourself? I'm going to make sure everyone in Colorado Music World sees this video. I'm going to make sure they all know what you are. They probably do, maybe. Maybe that's why you had to go find work as a troll. A stealth troll. You're as low as a piece of crap that sent me an order for some of my work and put 2 different addresses so that she could claim it was delivered. She had spent close to a year acting friendly, just like you did with Schoenberger. You and Ewan Ritchie acting like double agents, playing totally into Davis's hands. Are you proud of yourself? Are you proud of what you did? Because I want to tell you something. Nobody wants you working on any music with them, seeing what you did to him. No matter what they think of him, they're looking at what you did. First, by sabotaging the whole production with asinine, stupid tweets.
Wow.
And I was saying that, and I still believe, I'm not sure, but I believe, and it's not wrong, it's not, you're not a conspiracy theorist if you recognize that you can believe something and still be unsure as to whether it's true. Somebody sent me a document full of her personal information, and the only thing I did with that document was I sent it to her and said, look at what I was given. And I told her who sent it so that she could take action if she needed to. Instead, she used it as an excuse to attack me and lie about me. And she has engaged in friendly interaction and supportive interaction with an American organized criminal gang almost continuously for going on 5 years now, because investigations are happening here in the United States. Donna Emerald is being viciously attacked by American criminals like Jesse Davis and his wife Pavana Davis,
Viciously
because
attacked.
they know there are several investigations going on.
The way I remember it,
And
she kind
federal
of
level.
viciously attacked us.
I mean, obviously, I've already been in touch with local authorities more than once, and successfully. No, you haven't seen handcuffs on people.
And you never will.
Handcuffs go quickly on somebody who's caught in the act of doing something like purse snatching. But when an organized gang is involved in the level of government contract fraud, state of Indiana fraud, that the Davises are involved in, and
Oh, there's Tommy boy.
Oh,
I think I'm about to lose my battery. That's why the light suddenly changed. Well, I'll wrap this up. A gang killed my daughter. I'm obviously not a linear thinker. I'm not an academic kind of intellect. And disengage from this desire to prevent, to be involved with these particular gang people. You get a large enough group on the internet to repeat the same lie, it becomes impossible to pull it apart.
no, she didn't directly say we killed her
The
daughter.
reason I
She
am
said
on
a gang
friendly
killed her
terms with
daughter,
Schoenberger today
and we are a part of that gang.
is that I was
So,
believing the lies told about
saying
him.
the same
I was
thing.
believing them all from the very beginning of the first time I heard his voice in an interview with DeVango. I didn't like the guy at all. Because I was believing the lies being told. Then I took a closer look at Jesse Davis's lies. Because Jesse Davis is not a very smart person. He tells lies that have logical inconsistencies in them.
Right.
And when you question a logical inconsistency and the person can't correct it or clarify it, then you see that there's a lie. When I saw that Jesse Davis was lying about his court case and what happened with Pavana and the rehab center, when I saw that they were lying about that, I turned around and I looked at the court records and the depositions that were being published in a different blog. And they were being published because YouTubers don't like to read. And so the trolls know they can say, look, here's the whole thing. And now I'm going to tell you in 2 seconds what the whole thing says. It's going to take you 2 hours to actually read. And a lot of it is legal stuff you don't want to read. And that's what happens. They misinform people about what is in those depositions. I did spend a couple of days doing nothing but read those depositions and then realized there was a large pattern of catfishing. And that is why my opinion of Thomas Schoenberger changed.
Right, Denise.
Because I do believe he is there is an attempt, and it's not succeeding, to set him up as the lone wolf scapegoat for everything this gang has been doing.
The lone wolf
Because there
scapegoat.
are several investigations going on. There is a look being taken at my daughter's case at several different angles. What happened to her is part of it, capiche? Then there were the things that happened here in Texas. Texas authorities are investigating what happened in Texas. Indiana and Kentucky authorities are investigating what was going on up there.
Right.
The Kentucky
Denise.
authorities, state police, took a look at activities in the UK. Concerted, well organized, and deliberately targeted interference with actual investigation. Even the possibility that there's an investigation. See, this is, in fact, Jesse Davis quoted this law himself. If you intimidate somebody because you believe there might be an investigation, or you believe they are a witness to something, and you intimidate them, even if there's no investigation, you can still be charged with intimidating a witness. Because in fact, what does happen, and has happened in this case, is that it was exactly such acts of intimidation that caused law enforcement officers who were saying, case is closed, ain't interested, go away. But then they started looking at, why is this man, Schoenberger, why is he being targeted?
Because he's a
By the
fucking crook.
same group of people
Because he's a fucking
in multiple
criminal.
different ways which
That he
do
is.
not reflect well on the people targeting him. The things he's been accused of don't amount anywhere near to the crimes that are being covered up by the people who are accusing him of such things as writing music that might mess with your head. I remember my mother saying that rock and roll was doing that to us. And the Beatles were outlawed in my high school for that reason. And I'm not even allowed to speak of my daughter in any way without facing attack. The memory of my daughter was supposed to have been erased along with her life.
Right.
I can't win back her life, but I could win back her memory. Denise Matteau, over and out.
Right, Denise. Right. Going back through some of this old shit is just crazy.
I'm trying to find the one. I apologize for not having. Okay, here we go. I think this is the one. This was from A858 to Saint Germain, and it's carbon copied to somebody else, but that's redacted out.
I wonder if Thomas sends himself
A858 is in touch
emails.
with so-and-so,
If he
and
sends what?
he
Sends
was not-
himself emails, like if he was
Yes, he
A858
does. Yes,
sending
he
an
does.
email to Thomas
Yes, he
Schoenberger.
does send it
To
My
Steve
gosh.
Outram.
to Steve Outram.
So Schoenberger is telling Outram, A858 is in touch with an unnamed person and Schoenberger. He is not Schoenberger. So A858, this is what he forwarded, what Schoenberger forwarded to Steve Outram. A858 saying, I would like to get something off my chest and mind. Donna Emerald on her latest video had JD in her comments, which I screen captured. When she was at the height of defending Thomas on Twitter, I had asked her what the story was with this man and his wife. This, as you will understand, was because I did not know any of you, and not being on social media, I did not know what is going on online. I was not in the drama. Donna Emerald had turned on a sixpence defending Thomas Schoenberger when she had been friends with the usual suspects of DeFango, Lestat, Diane, Jesse, Elamy Fuentes, who she even drew a portrait of her, then suddenly dropped her. I then asked her what she thought herself about Pavana. That's the woman that Schoenberger interfered with, or attempted to interfere with her hospitalization by
That's
impersonating
right.
a doctor.
Really, Denise?
That's right.
Is that what
It's
Thomas did?
JD, I don't know who that is. Only knew the things she had said to me about his wife. She would understand the mind games she is capable of. Donna Emerald has had zero love or friendship for me. She flip-flops around with people, ally and enemy when it suits her. Yesterday she told JD she was blocking him. I guess he had fulfilled his usefulness in drawing attention to herself. So this would be the guy that is showing up there as Jack, who's saying that she never had anything going on with him. Whatever, that's not important. March of this year being 2019, me forgiving her toxic behavior for the umpteenth time, being held hostage to her mind games, which I resolved was only online, I could take back control and switch off my internet. I have my life to be getting on with. She eventually realized, or at least changed.
Denise.
This is the coolest shit.
So, what happens when a citizen puts out a bounty on another? All sorts of crazy things can happen. All sorts of bad people can come out of the woodwork and attempt to do violence. So, I'm seeking to raise money to take these people to court. I need to pay legal fees. I also need to survive. And I need to keep making music. That's what I was put on this planet for. So, there's a PayPal link. Any PayPal donation will remain anonymous. And I remain deeply grateful for your support. Thank you.
Deeply grateful for your support, guys. Oh, there's my list of Schoenberger socks that were known. Reckoning 101, The Ghost, Rough Seas.
Must have gone into a direction that gives great levity to everything. All they had to do was perhaps listen to Miss Clapier or Mr. Sean Stone or John Kloppenborg or Paul Hoffman or James Robertson, and you would go ahead and find something called the Critical Edition of Q, which is a synopsis that includes Matthean Gospels and Lucan Gospels and Mark and the fourth Gospel of Thomas, Apocrypha that was thrown out after the Council of Nicaea. So very easy to find. Documenta-Q, and you will see everything. Everything.
So let me tell you about what happened today. I have reported Denise Matow to the Arkansas Task Force, and yes, it is a woman who's heading up the investigation. I gave a clip of this video where she falsely accused me, and then I gave screenshots of Denise Matow in communication with Manuel Chavez and with Bobby Sauerwald and with Arturo Kafiowski. So I also did another thing too. I spent an hour today emailing 18 people within the Corpus Christi area Homeland Security, which includes the Coast Guard and others. I have urged my friends who have professional status, doctors, lawyers, whatnot, to also send the same thing separately with their professional emails. So I can tell you without a doubt that Denise Matow is now being watched closely in Texas and in Arkansas. So are others.
Arkansas.
So she wanted to continue to put out these sociopathic rants. This lady, well, some people say she's a sociopath, others say she's a psychopath. I'd probably say psychopath, but a dangerous one. And one who's very cunning and calculated, and, you know, a DNC paid operative with links to Bobby Sauerwald, Gabe Hoffman, Manny Spiticus, Chavez, and others. So Denise, congratulations, you just made some new lists.
Yeah, Denise, congratulations. You just made some new lists. Thomas admits to interfering.
He gave the
with
phone to
news
Pavetta
show.
as she was being admitted to the hospital for probably, 72-hour observation period. And I was able to determine that she knew where she was, that she knew the time and the date and the reason why she was there. So I told the admitting personnel, who was not a nurse and not a doctor, that I thought that she was having a panic attack. And
Oh, wait. Did he just say, I told the admitting person?
Yeah.
that my father had been a psychiatrist, deceased in 2010. But
What
that
business does
he
he
had taught
have
me,
doing
here's how
that?
you determine whether someone's dissociative or having a panic attack. So she was very nice. She was mandated by the hospital to talk to the doctor and to take advice from the doctor. But Jesse, he lies. He tells everybody that somehow a disembodied voice is going to be able to dictate procedure at a hospital.
A
nuts?
disembodied voice.
What did you, Jesse? Did you forge that piece of paper? Would it be okay for all of us to call the hospital to verify it? Huh? How about it, liar?
Let's take a look. This is clearly a medical document with personal information redacted. Here you will see a copy of the complaint that was filed about the issues with the medical facility and also Thomas. And here are some of the interrogatories that were requested by the defendant's counsel, asking us for information about the complaint against the facility, as well as asking us for all kinds of things such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, from social media. As we all know, that's where Thomas was involved, and we did in fact proceed forward with all of this, as well as filing an FBI complaint. So the lie from Denise and Thomas that I sat back and did nothing is just that. It's just a flat out lie. These people are just nuts. Here you'll see a copy of the actual complaint to the FBI that we filed. And after that Thomas and Denise and all the mindless minions put out that this clearly shows no criminal history. Pistis was able to find out I'm the great-great-great-great-grandson of Saint Germain. Mm-hmm.
I like that music.
Apparently it was a video put together about MK Ultra. Manipulate mental states and brain functions under the guise of research. Hypnosis. Project Chaos.
It's beautiful.
Denise, trust me on the title for your video on Lestat. If you call it Lestat fired from Takata 3301, it will go seriously viral. You will have everyone watching. Now, this was the second point where he tried to get me involved. I said that I was willing to talk about, I don't know what, really. I said that
Thomas scripting.
my work, which deals with the use of frequencies within music to stimulate the brain to greater capacity. It's that simple.
I have sent her money months and months and months. Anybody who's trying to allege that I have supported control, that's a lie.
Davis likes to show his badge around and brag about how he's an armed security guard. He carries a license. And he's all over YouTube, trying to extort people. And what he's got this filthy Lisa Derrick, Bobby Sarawak, Sherry Vaughn, Havana Davis, Tammy Mathis, Aaron Cox, every goddamn one of these filthy pigs. Jesse Davis, that filthy faggot, and he is a faggot. He brags about his badge because he's a goddamn rent-a-cop in a gay club. But I've been talking to some reporters who remember those original cases. And they are curious, really. You put up documents claiming there's a secret grand jury over a 2012 threat to sue that cost a lot of people their jobs. Number one, if there is a secret grand jury, what right do you have to put all those documents out in a YouTube video? Number two, if there is not a secret grand jury, how much work did you put into creating artistically designed counterfeit documents? That's what Jesse Davis did, one of those two things. And it's the South Bend, Indiana FBI office that he's claiming has this secret grand jury. And he has a political group, People United Against something or other, that helps him threaten people in City Hall when he doesn't feel like his contractor business is getting enough kickbacks of its own. And he's not busy setting up fraud lawsuits with his professional victim wife.
I heard my name.
He's even got a monster, and Bobby Sarawak was there tonight alongside that same monster who spent 2 live streams talking about how she is hiring a YouTube researcher, true crime researcher, to accuse Havana's boyfriend of being a serial killer.
My boyfriend?
That is the level
Who's
of
my boyfriend?
extortion and blackmail to which
Thomas, I
Havana
think.
Davis and her husband are willing to stoop. And that woman, Lisa Derrick, who wants to cry over puppies while assisting these people support the murder of my daughter? What makes you think that you can get away with that?
What makes you think you can get away with that? That's what I want to know.
Davis likes to show his badge around and brag about how he's an armed security guard. He carries a license. And he's all over YouTube trying to extort people. He claims, well,
Shame on
these
you.
people are you know, When people are broke because you participated in destroying their ability to make a living, that's extortion. And what he's doing
People
right
are
now,
broke because
and when
we
he's got this
destroyed their ability to make money.
Lisa Derrick, Bobby Sarawalt, Sherry Long, Havana Davis, Tammy Nathis, Aaron Cox, every goddamn one of these filthy pigs. They are there to make sure there is no requiem for Faith Jackson. What the hell did Faith Jackson ever do to Jesse Davis, that filthy faggot? And he is a faggot.
Jesus
He brags about
Christ.
his badge because he's a goddamn rent-a-cop in a gay club. That's why he doesn't care that his wife fools around with men on the internet. She's a beard. You know what a beard is, don't you?
No. Actually, I don't.
Apparently a drag queen, I guess.
Oh. Well, why do you call it a beard? I don't know.
You're the beard.
I don't never see him with beards. Oh, I'm a guy?
Apparently.
How'd I have 4 kids?
Allow a composer like Thomas Schoenberger to have a music career without having to fight with thugs like him. He will not allow a requiem for my daughter. Where are
Not
his kids?
allow it.
Where are my kids?
He says he has kids. Where are they?
None of your business.
Well, they were in Texas and shit, and Utah.
What do they think
Yeah.
of their father's behavior doing this? Do they think he's just a good shot? Is he raising a mob of monsters like himself?
Yes, Denise, I am.
There are a number of people that he sued in City Hall that he brags about having sued, but nothing ever happened. But they lost their jobs over it.
They sure
They
did.
lost their jobs over it.
They sure did.
She and Davis supposedly have children somewhere. Davis talks about his kids. Somebody else in YouTube asked Davis, do you have any women in your family? Any daughters, nieces, sisters? Can you think about what you're doing? And he accused her of threatening his family because she tried to appeal to humanity. There is no humanity to appeal to. He is supporting the murder of my daughter.
I'm supporting the murder of her daughter.
He is running an extortion ring and a professional lawsuit grifter ring in South Bend, Indiana. And every single person in South Bend, Indiana needs to know exactly what kind of filth Havana Davis and Jesse Davis and every goddamn member of their family are. Go ahead, Davis. Bring your whole family out. You bastards want to brag about your families while attacking me for wanting justice in the murder of my daughter?
Calm down, little
What the hell
lady.
is wrong with you, Havana Davis?
Wow.
I know you're schizophrenic,
Oh, I'm schizophrenic.
and you like to have your relationships with men online so that your husband can rescue you. You know, there used to be a game whores used to play in bars
Wow.
to get men to fight.
And she seems to know a lot about it.
I guess this is the new style, isn't it, Havana?
I'd have to say she's calmed down some since
Does it turn
then.
you on?
Does it turn you on, Pavana?
when you put together those brutal shows attacking women. Turns you on, doesn't it, Pavarna?
Attacking women.
You really love it, don't you, Pavarna?
Wow, that's creepy. Stop talking like that. Ooh. You want it, Pavarna, don't you, Pavarna?
Filthy, sick husband.
It's creepy as
Can't
fuck.
figure out that maybe last year, when I was criticizing Schoenberger because he was being sucked into
I'm glad that ain't my real
goddamn
name.
group that did blow up those chemical tanks. Aaron Cox himself said it was supposedly a drill. Because their little political rainbow group wants to attack American ports.
I still think Denise just needs to be drilled.
Oh.
And I know the men in that live stream are all rainbow.
They're
Bobby
all
Sarwell, you
rainbows.
can hear the limp wrist in his voice all the way through.
Oh my, she's so bad.
Jesse Davis has got a rainbow for a brain.
Rainbow for a brain. What is that supposed to mean? You're killing me. You're killing me.
Oh my.
Okay, I'm going to try to sign this with a paintbrush this time. I don't know if that matters.
My. What a nasty web they weave. That's all I can say. What a nasty web they weave. Well, since you're enjoying.
Oh, I was going to go back to John Denver.
Since you're enjoying.
I was enjoying the
Denise,
silence, actually.
Since you're enjoying Denise,
No.
let's just check out this stream from early this morning. Shall we?
A Denise one?
Yes.
Oh,
We
a
might
new
as well
one?
we might as well do it while you're live, right?
All right. She does censor her curse words. I'll say that.
Well,
but there's no telling what she's.
No music.
What's it
for you
titled?
right now? My other device is on the charger across the room.
Yes.
And I just don't feel like going over there together. So we're just going to go into
sad.
this one.
Terry Joyce failed.
Yeah, I
porn
wasn't
scriptwriter.
planning to do this, but
Struggles to pronounce certain words.
this I really deeply regret ever having had any contact with this Hollywood slut named Terry Joyce.
Wow.
And she better not be offended to be called a slut because she her own resume, she makes her living, or made her living, as she says, as a porn screenwriter. I heard some of her comic routines, and you know, it did cross my mind that somebody with an extremely unpleasant nasal voice, who is, from her resume, has been involved in acting school and everything from a very young age. She's a lifetime chaser of the Hollywood glamour, and she's a California girl.
Wow.
Grew up there, went into that profession, porn screenwriter some years ago. I'm just quoting from her own resume, and you know, she's here in Twitter. Look up Terry Joyce, you'll see her. She has a lovely avatar as
It's a lovely
woman.
avatar.
She's somewhat middle-aged. Yeah, because she was in the Fab Over 40 beauty contest. So she's over 40 anyway, but not too much over 40 from what I understand. But anyway, the point is, a woman has a lifelong association with the professional world of theater, of acting, of being on stage as a comedian. She
Okay,
went to acting
question.
school, according to the resume. She's
Question.
now calling
Should I
herself
put-
a genius 4.0
Should I put
academic
Wilson in the
score,
painting?
Student
In the cave or in
at
the
the
water?
University of California in Fresno
Talking to
as
him in
a
the cave, I think.
digital
Mhm.
Right
journalist.
here.
Yeah.
And I respected her background enough, even though, as I say, I mean, I don't understand why somebody with that background didn't take voice training to do something about that fingernail on the blackboard nasal quality of the voice. And I'm not the only one who's noticed it. That's the first thing people say when you mention her name. I kind of felt sorry for her. But she did have the resume, and she did seem intelligent when we first spoke. And she said she wanted to interview me after she had seen some clips of some of
did
my
seem
videos
intelligent.
in the channel that was crowdstruck by the extortion ring she was actually working for at the time.
The extortion ring,
And
that
this
must
is
be
what
us.
confuses me about these people. It doesn't make any sense. The word she can't pronounce is a very simple word, and she states right in her live stream tonight that she cannot pronounce this woman's name. It's too difficult. The name is Blavatsky. Helen, she's talking about the theosophical teachings of Helen Blavatsky. That's not, there's no syllable in that word that is foreign to the English language. Blah is simple for anyone speaking American English. You're not being asked to roll an R or make a guttural sound like some German word or, you know, you see what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, it sounds like I'm being picky, but yeah, I'm being picky. But I'm also being disgusted.
I'll be right back.
The lies that this person, I am disgusted with people who are on stage, who present themselves as professional people with resumes, who've earned a lot of money, and I'm not saying that out of jealousy.
Anything real interesting. I'm
She
sure
deserved every cent she
we're
got
the
paid for
extortion
writing
ring
those
she's
scripts.
talking about.
But now she's
Well,
working
she's kind of
with an
putting me to
extortion ring.
sleep.
She's actually
She's kind of putting
working
me to sleep.
Well,
with the
What?
man that she was attacking when she spoke to me, and I actually had an argument with her on the phone when she was telling me how upset and furious she was at this evil, evil man DeFango who invented Q, the QAnon. And I laughed. I said, DeFango didn't invent QAnon. What are you talking about? She was having a mental breakdown. And I couldn't understand it. It was an act, of course, a total act. She was working with DeFango, who has promoted himself that way and has always been laughed at because he's a two-bit grifter who figured out a way early in the days of live streaming, fairly early, I mean not very early, but fairly early, he figured out that he could probably make a living as a live stream performer. And he can, and I think he is. He seems to be growing a channel. But he also got involved in making a lot of outrageous claims, trying to rip people off, ripping his business partners off. He's now involved with the Sewertown extortion ring that works with Beth Bogarts, who was a business partner in a group that was accused of starting QAnon. because some of the people behind that group definitely were involved with QAnon. Ed Butowski, another word that shouldn't be too difficult to pronounce, but she won't try to pronounce that word because she does not want to tell the truth about the company she keeps. Ed Butowski was a financier who tried to set up a musician named Thomas Schoenberger, and by extension, Schoenberger's partner, Mark Levine, tried to set them up as scapegoats for the extremely organized crime criminal organization that Butowski was funding. Beth Bogarts was the conduit for the money. Thomas Schoenberger was the composer, a man, an autistic man with Asperger's, who has been lied about so much. And he had DeFango as a business partner. DeFango and Butowski and Beth Bogarts had set this organization up that they're still running. They're now running with the pedo-baiting blackmail ring that's run by Jesse Davis and his art performances, his performance artist wife, Pavana Davis. Terry Joyce has gone from writing porn to almost living it, because what the Davises do, they do performances, they set people up, they do pedo-baiting blackmail. Jesse Davis himself was in videos with a group up in Mishawaka, Indiana, outside of South Bend. That's where he lives, up there in that area. Very active politically. Nobody's doxing anybody. He's well known in his area for showing up everywhere with his camera. He's quite well known as a real estate owner and business owner too. He's made a lot of money grifting and blackmailing people with lawsuits. That's what he does. And he's trying to do it to Thomas Schoenberger. Terry Joyce has joined him. Now, Terry Joyce, as I say, read her own resume. Now, I'm not spoon-feeding you with clips, but you can, if you're listening to me, you can type a few words in the Twitter search and find her channel. You can follow her own links to her own resume. Go chase her around all the backwoods, backstreet platforms she hides in now, where she hides the slander and everything that she's putting. These people that, they simultaneously want to be public figures and want to hide. But have fun with that. Now, she earned perfect respectable to earn a living, getting paid for your screenwriting. Tonight she has a live stream up when she's not struggling with 3-syllable words that are too much for a Dean's List California college student to pronounce. She's attacking Michael Levine and Thomas Schoenberger with emails from some private business conversations. I don't know where she got them or how she got them. It's completely unethical what she's doing. But it's also clear to anyone who listens to it that she's an absolute lying blankety blank. The conversation is with a lawyer's wife named Tanya Biss. She refers to this lawyer, Biss, as a renowned, some kind of famous, respectable lawyer, like, I don't know, F. Lee Bailey or somebody. And yeah, you're showing your age if you know who that was. I think the guy's been disbarred more than once. I remember when he showed up in my chat among trolls, and people were saying he was a lawyer. I said, no, you're a lawyer? And I was speaking, and he typed in yes. And I said, no, you're not. No lawyer would do the crap you do. Get out of here. And I blocked him. Tanya Biss has been involved in setting up SWAT-style welfare checks on people. This is who Terry Joyce is naming in her stream
as a respectable person. In Tanya Biss at the time that these email conversations happened was during the period when this extortion ring was setting Thomas up and was setting Michael Levine up. And it's interesting because most people, including myself, have long thought Michael Levine was Jewish, and that's part of the reason that this extortion ring bunch of cute people were setting him up. Now, I have openly stated I am anti-Semitic against the American Jewish community because of what they've done to our country. They are a political group. Everybody knows it. They are well organized. New York Jews are well organized. The Anti-Defamation League that just tried to take down Johnny Depp and is now trying to take down Elon Musk, that's a Jewish organization. Southern Poverty Law Center, one of the nastiest terrorist organizations that ever stained the South, exploiting black people, teaching them that the only way a black man's ever going to be a leader is if he cuts his testicles off and calls himself gay. I mean, they promote all that stuff. Yes, I'm anti-Semitic. But beyond speaking openly about what the Jewish community is doing to the rest of us, which they speak about what they believe we're doing to them, so it's free speech in a free country, I'm not setting individual human beings up for takedown the way Terry Joyce is doing. Now, this is the thing, Michael Levine is not Jewish. Many people think he is for two reasons. Number one, the Levine name is frequently a Jewish name, but it's also a common French name outside of that. Now, when I was wondering if Michael Levine was Jewish, I went and Googled and I saw an article by an Israeli propaganda outfit. I forget exactly the name of it, but if you Google Michael Levine and put the word forward, put Michael Levine, comma, and forward, F-O-R-W-A-R-D. That's part of the name of the website. That it's an Israeli propaganda website. And they had an article about the Kit Kat commercial and the famous Jewish personalities that are responsible for American culture, because of course we're all, a bunch of goys and chick sauce. How could we have a culture, right? Well, at first it looks like, oh, yeah, so Michael Levine is Jewish. But then on second reading, he spoke about his understanding of Jewish culture, and you could see the verbal dance that was going on in the interview with that propaganda sheet. They needed to make him as a Jew because they didn't want to admit he wasn't. And that's one of the things they do. So what? I'm just pointing it out. I'm now beginning to suspect that a big part of the attacks on Schoenberger and Michael Levine and Terry Joyce is now really running forward with this stuff. I'm going to get around to what she did tonight in a minute. But I'm now beginning to wonder how much of it is actually part of the really nasty activist stuff. Because Terry Joyce is moving, in fact, in the same circles that produced a group called, the GDL, Goy Defense League, and they specialize in really, really vulgar, nasty stuff. They don't just talk about opinions of what the American Jewish community has been doing. They really get into personal Jew-baiting fights. And I'm just putting this out there as something to understand. So Terry Joyce is part of this attack. She has this stolen email conversation because, it obviously was not a conversation that was between people who expected that their words were going to be public. Not that there was anything wrong with them, but they were talking about the script. And this is where the lies get very interesting. The script for a proposed movie that was going to talk about the I Am cult and Cicada 3301 and all this stuff. And Michael Levine is a well-respected, successful Hollywood musician, producer, and so on, in partnership with Thomas Schoenberger, who also has been very successful at times and basically has to hide any success he's having now, but he is having success. And they were in some high stakes negotiations about a script. Terry Joyce actually quotes the truth and then lies about it. The truth being that Michael Levine and Tanya Biss in this conversation stated flat out that they wanted a light-hearted approach to the topic. Because I want to tell you something. Thomas Schoenberger has never tried to present himself as Count Saint-Germain. He's never done that.
Bullshit.
He is, in fact, a descendant of that family, just as I am, in fact, a cousin to some very famous American families. Everybody has ancestry. The historical figure known as the Count Saint-Germain was a European whose relatives went on to have children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and by now 7th or 8th generation removed from the years in which the original Count Saint-Germain was walking around in Paris and London. Terry Joyce attacks Thomas Schoenberger for actually being a descendant. And in the conversation she's quoting in her stream, the people in it representing Thomas Schoenberger is not, as far as I know, a participant in the conversation, but he is one of the partners. Tanya Biss is a participant in the conversation. Michael Levine is a participant. And they're talking about the direction a planned production is to take. Thomas Schoenberger wrote part of a proposal for it and was paid. And Terry Joyce, who has been paid for her work in pornography and who now works with a pedo baiting ring,